Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are, clan.
Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on? I'm going to make this a very quick conversation. It's one that I've been meaning to do, and I thought that I would do it real quick, especially, and I think it's especially applicable in light of what we're seeing as a country, you know, with all the chaos and the unrest and everything else. This is really more so geared toward either young people or people that manage young people and give them, you know, what we're talking about, what they want to do when they grow up and careers and stuff like that. So first of all, let me just say this. If you're out there and you're protesting, I think it's great, and I support it completely. No matter how you're protesting, I don't judge that. If you think, you know, something needs to get burned down or a window needs to get busted out, and who am I to tell you not to do that, as long as you know the consequences. I think legislating morality is not something that we're very good at as a society, nor is it very fair. Now, with that said, let me throw a couple of, let me spit something at you that I figured out, you know, after kind of being on this earth for a little while. When you talk about, you know, careers and what you want to do with your life and stuff like that, like a lot of people kind of, you know, shape it in terms of a box. Like they tell you, oh, you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, or, you know, or whatever, a business person or a teacher or whatever. And I think that that's really cool. But hold on, somebody said no sound. So let me see here. Let me know if you can hear me and see me. Let me know if you can hear me. I saw no sound, so I want to make sure you guys can hear me. And so here's what I think, though. I think that there's another way to think about what you want to do for a living. You know, if you have a profession in mind that you want to do, I think that you want to not necessarily just think of it in terms of how much money you're going to make or whether the profession comes off as a quote-unquote legitimate profession. You know, I grew up at a time where people would become lawyers or doctors or whatever, and that kind of defined them. It's like, you know, you ask people what they do, the second or third thing they always told you, or you ask them who they are, the second or third thing they'll tell you is what they do for a living. And I personally think that that's a lot. And I don't, you know, it says video keeps skipping, so I'm going to go ahead and end the Instagram, and I'll just load a video directly. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. So give me a second. I'm deleting this video. So, you know, I don't think it has to be that way, though. Like, I think that you can actually pick your profession and not even factor money into the equation. And the reason I think that is this, you know, at the end of the day, what a lot of us wanted to do when we went to school was, you know, a lot of us wanted to make money. When it came to what we did for a living, it was like, oh, I'm going to pick this profession over that profession, not because it's what I like to do or because I have a passion for it, but because this profession pays $10,000 a year more than that profession and stuff like that. And I think that that's kind of especially in the world we live in now, where there's so many other things to do besides go to work. I don't know if that's an optimal way to choose what you want to do for the rest of your life. And so here's what I realized. Once you know how to make money, everything becomes easier. It becomes a whole different equation because you're choosing your profession without thinking about money. Most people, when they pick a profession, they just pick the job that pays them the most money that they can tolerate, and that's what they choose. Whereas if you imagine if you had $1 million in the bank and money wasn't an option, money wasn't enough to motivate you to get out of bed every day, what would you do for a living? Well, that's a whole different way of viewing the world. I think it's a whole different set of opportunities, especially now when you have stuff, just so many interesting things to do. Like, you know, maybe you want to do stuff on social media, maybe you want to be a gamer, maybe you want to be an activist or whatever. And so here's what I think. You know, I think that the model for how we, you know, raise ourselves or raise children into becoming adults should change, where instead of gearing their whole life toward a career, I would have every child, every black child, maybe have some time learning how to make money, right? Because if they learn how to make money, And let's say that they go, make some investments, or they start a small business, and they're making $8,000 a month from their business, which is a very tiny business, but they're making $8,000 a month from their business. Well, now they're not going to go pick one job over another, because that job A pays $5,000 a month and job B pays $6,000 a month. If you have $8,000 a month coming from your business, then your bills are paid. So you don't even have to go to work if you don't want to. So you're only going to go to work if the work itself is meaningful and relevant. And the thing about it, I can tell you, is as a person who owns a business and who's been running a business for a long time, I know tons of business owners who make $8,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $30,000 a month, $100,000 a month, etc., just by having one good idea and selling one product, right? So I'll give you an example in terms of real life, and this is where this came from. When I was at Syracuse University, I made good money. We probably made about $10,000 a month, something like that. And I remember every year there would be a big fight in the faculty over, who would get the biggest raise. Some people would get a 2% raise, some people would get no raise, some people would get 1%, 4%, or whatever. And I had started a little side hustle. And my side hustle was bringing in about $4,000 a month. So it wasn't enough money for me to really live off of at that time based on my bills, but it was enough to make a difference. Like, it was enough where I could actually not save any money in my paycheck and still have $4,000 a month to put in the bank because I had this side business. So when the time came for everybody to spend all this time at the meeting arguing over why they should get the biggest raise, I just told my chairman, I said, I don't care if you give me a raise or not. I've got money coming in elsewhere, right? So when you have a second stream of income, it makes a big difference. So I think training the kids early to have that second stream of income before they start worrying about what they want to do for a living changes the whole conversation on what am I going to do with my life, right? I don't think that your whole life should be spent trying to make enough money so you can just pay your student loans and die. I think that you should make enough, learn early. That's where they take a class on entrepreneurship or investing or whatever, so they can learn how to make that extra $5,000, $6,000 a month, so that then they only go to work if they're passionate, they're only doing things they love, they're living the life that they are meant to live, and money's out of the equation. Because that's, to me, it's important, because a lot of people are stuck in what I call capitalist slavery, where you're doing something only because you need to do it in order to survive. And I think that's because we have a lack of preparation on the economic front. Learning economics, learning investing, learning how to start a business, like, that's important for your survival, especially if you're black. So a lot of our people are just not ready to survive. So the very same people that you're trying to fight are the people that you're begging for a job from. Like, that doesn't work very well. So teach them how to make money early, and then they can have a lot more options. Life is all about options. Options are freedom. They're all the same thing. So anyway, I'm out of here, guys. If you want to learn how to invest, we're doing a Black Stock Market Challenge, totally free. Within 5 days, we will show you with short videos how to get started. It costs nothing to join the challenge. You can go to theblackstockmarketchallenge.com, THE, that's theblackstockmarketchallenge.com. So I'll see you soon. Take care. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.